What if the most dangerous thing you've packed isn't a prohibited item for self-defense, but your everyday multivitamin? Or a common beach souvenir could lead to hours of interrogation in a customs room. This might sound like a movie plot, but now, in 2025, innocent mistakes like these are landing ordinary travelers with massive fines, deportation, or even arrest. The rules have changed, and items you've packed dozens of times before could now be considered contraband. And the scariest part? Most people don't even realize they're breaking the law until it's far too late. In this video, we'll expose 13 surprisingly common items that can cause you serious trouble at the airport. Things you probably never even considered. So, before you plan your next flight, hit like and stick around until the end, because the last few items on this list aren't just about fines. They're about things that can genuinely land you in a foreign prison. This is one travel guide you cannot afford to miss. Let's get started. The first point is dry mixes and powders. Imagine this. You're a health enthusiast flying to a resort, let's say in Dubai. You've packed your usual large tub of protein powder to keep up your fitness routine. But at security, you're stopped. A quick check escalates into hours of questioning. The problem? To an X-ray machine, your chocolate protein powder looks exactly like a block of a restricted substance. This is what security sees: a large, dense amount of powder. Their scanners can't differentiate your sports supplement from illicit substances. This is an instant red flag. In the US, the Transportation Security Administration, TSA, has implemented a rule for powders in carry-on bags. Anything over 340 grams, 12 ounces, is subject to extra screening, chemical analysis, and a lot of questions. Internationally, they take it even more seriously. In countries like Qatar and Australia, travelers have been detained for 8 hours or more while labs test their dietary supplements. And listen, if you think you're being clever and have transferred the powder into a generic bag or an unlabeled container, you've just made the situation 1,000 times worse. You now look exactly like a smuggler. Here's the key distinction. Airport security is looking for threats to the plane. Customs services are looking to stop illegal trade. The best way to avoid this is to keep all dry mixes in their original sealed packaging with a clear ingredient list. Your workout routine is important, but it shouldn't cost you your tickets, your vacation, and potentially your freedom. 2. Smart luggage. There's a cruel irony here. You spent hundreds of dollars on a high-tech suitcase to make travel easier. Yet that very suitcase prevents you from getting on board. The problem lies with the integrated lithium-ion batteries that power GPS and charging ports. In a sealed aircraft cabin, these batteries are a serious fire hazard. If they overheat at 35,000 feet, it could cause a fire that the crew can't extinguish. Airlines learned this lesson the hard way. There have been several incidents where batteries in smart luggage began smoking in the cargo hold, forcing pilots to make emergency landings. Following this, airlines implemented a zero-tolerance policy. No exceptions. Now, travelers face a stark choice at the check-in counter: abandon their expensive suitcase or miss their flight. And don't think simply turning off the power is enough. Even a dead battery can still pose a fire risk with cabin pressure changes. The only smart suitcases allowed are those with a removable battery. You take it out, carry it with you into the cabin, and you're safe. But many major brands still sell models with non-removable batteries without bold warnings. Here's a pro tip. Before you even leave home, try to remove the battery. Time yourself. If you can't get it out in under 30 seconds, that expensive suitcase is practically useless. 3. Natural souvenirs. You're strolling on a pristine beach in Thailand. You see a beautiful, intricate seashell. You pick it up. Or maybe you scoop up a handful of pristine white sand to take home in a little jar. A perfect free souvenir, right? Wrong. That innocent memento of your vacation can land you in a world of legal trouble. Such natural finds violate strict biosecurity and conservation laws worldwide. The sand and shells can harbor invasive species, microscopic bacteria, and parasites that could completely devastate a local ecosystem. What looks like a harmless shell to you is a biological threat to an agricultural inspector. And the penalties are simply staggering. In Australia, you can be fined up to 660,000 Australian dollars for importing undeclared biological material. In New Zealand, you could get an on-the-spot fine of $400 for a single shell. And in Hawaii, it's illegal to take any natural materials from the beaches, with fines that can reach $25,000. Coral is a separate story. Coral reefs are endangered, so even a small fragment can lead to criminal charges for environmental destruction and even a lifetime travel ban. Airport X-ray scanners are tuned to detect organic materials, so they will see your find. And when they do, your beautiful vacation keepsake will transform into a costly legal nightmare right before your eyes. 4. Power banks. Your phone is dying. Your laptop is almost out of juice. And that massive power bank in your bag feels like a lifesaver. We get it. But that same battery can get you stuck at the airport before you even take off. Most travelers aren't aware of the magic number for external batteries. 100 watt-hours. You can generally take a power bank up to 100 watt-hours in your carry-on without issues. Between 100 and 160 watt-hours, you need special airline approval beforehand. Anything over 160 watt-hours is completely prohibited. Why? Because airlines view larger batteries as potential fire hazards. At high altitudes, lithium-ion cells can overheat and ignite, filling the cabin with toxic smoke that onboard systems can't handle. This isn't just theory. It's happened before. Airport scanners are programmed to identify the capacity of these batteries and instantly flag them if they detect an oversized one. This is a huge problem for professional photographers and videographers who often rely on massive batteries for their equipment and routinely miss flights because of it. But there's a hidden trap too: unlabeled power banks. If the device doesn't clearly state its watt-hour capacity, security can't verify if it's safe. In some countries, any battery without a clearly marked watt-hour rating is forbidden, no matter how small. What you thought would save you could end up canceling your entire trip. 5. Counterfeit goods. You're in a Bangkok market and you see it. A designer bag that would cost $2,000 at home is just $50 here. The pattern looks impeccable. The stitching is perfect. An unbelievable find. You stash it in your suitcase, proud of your savvy shopping. But here's what's changed in 2025. Authorities are now aggressively targeting buyers, not just sellers. Countries are collaborating, treating the possession of counterfeit goods as a serious criminal offense. Why the dramatic shift? Because it's been established that revenue from fake goods often funds organized crime, human trafficking, and even terrorism. Your innocent purchase directly supports these criminal networks, and the penalties are no joke. In France, simply possessing a fake luxury item can land you a fine of up to 300,000 euros. In Italy, you can be arrested on the spot and have everything they deem fake confiscated. These aren't just warnings. These are criminal charges that will stay on your record permanently. And getting caught is easier than you think. Customs agents are trained to spot telltale signs of fakes, from uneven stitching to misaligned logos. More than that, new technologies are being deployed that help them identify fakes with startling accuracy. If they find one suspicious item, you can bet they'll inspect every branded product you're carrying. Your bargain could end up costing you thousands in fines, legal fees, and a travel ban to that country. 6. Electric lighters. New rechargeable lighters seem like a great travel gadget. No gas, no fuel, just a cool electric arc. They look modern, eco-friendly, and perfect for the traveler. But these high-tech gadgets are causing serious problems at security checkpoints. Electric pulse and plasma lighters work by creating an electric current that heats to over 1,100 degrees Celsius. Security staff see this extreme heat combined with a lithium battery, and it instantly triggers a red light for them. They perceive it as dangerous, especially in a sealed aircraft cabin. And, just like power banks, lithium batteries can become unstable with changes in pressure at altitude. If they malfunction, they can overheat and cause a fire. This isn't just theory. Aviation authorities have documented an increase in incidents involving battery-powered devices, which is why they're tightening rules. So, even if such a lighter doesn't require fuel, it's not considered entirely safe. Any device that generates that much heat is a potential threat. Here's what trips up many travelers. Many manufacturers label their packaging TSA approved. This is a complete lie. No such official approval exists, and this misleading claim causes tourists a genuine shock when their lighter is confiscated and they're pulled aside for questioning. That convenient gadget can easily cause you to miss your connecting flight. 7. Food products. You're in Italy and you find an incredible aged cheese. You taste cured ham in Spain that changes your perception of flavor. You see exotic fruits in Thailand and think it would be great to share them with your family. But bringing these delicious souvenirs across an international border can land you in serious trouble. The reason is biosecurity. Meats, dairy, and fresh fruits can carry microscopic diseases that can completely decimate a country's agriculture. Diseases like African swine fever and foot and mouth disease can spread via these products and wipe out entire farming industries. So authorities treat these products as potential biological threats. The U.S. Department of Agriculture and similar European agencies have incredibly strict rules and do not consider undeclared food an innocent mistake. They view it as a deliberate attempt to deceive. Travelers face thousands of dollars in fines for bringing in a small piece of cured meat or cheese. And it's not just the obvious things. Even processed and packaged foods, like canned goods or sealed snacks, can trigger extensive checks for import compliance. Here's the simple rule. Eating food in a country is fine. Transporting it across a border is importing. And all the rules come into play then. The best option is to declare anything you're unsure about. If you declare it, the worst that can happen is they take it. If you hide it and they find it, you could face charges of smuggling. 8. Drones. You've brought your new drone, imagining stunning footage of ancient temples in Morocco or the pyramids in Egypt. It seems like the perfect tool for creating unforgettable memories. But that camera drone could land you in jail before you even check into your hotel. In dozens of countries, the rules have changed. Drones are no longer considered consumer electronics. They are classified as aerial devices, and authorities treat unregistered ones as potential tools for espionage or terrorism. In Morocco, drone use by tourists is completely forbidden. They will be confiscated at the airport, and you'll never get it back. In Egypt, the rules are even stricter. The U.S. Embassy openly warns its citizens about the ban on importing any drones. Security services are actively looking for them. In India, you need to obtain a unique identification number and operator permit before you arrive. It's a lengthy process involving weeks, import duties, and registration with government sites. If you don't, prepare for confiscation, massive fines, and even potential imprisonment. And even if you get the registration right, your drone batteries still need to be under 100 watt-hours for carry-on. And flying near military bases or major historical sites can lead to immediate arrest. Your dream of the perfect shot could turn into a legal nightmare. 9. Vaping devices. Vaping seems like a personal choice, but the moment you cross an international border, your nicotine habit can become a criminal offense. First, the most important rule. Vaping devices must be in your carry-on luggage. They are prohibited in checked baggage. The reason is that lithium batteries can go into thermal runaway, an uncontrolled heating process that leads to fire or explosion. If this happens in the cargo hold, a fire would be impossible to extinguish. Second, never, under any circumstances, use or charge a vaping device on board an aircraft. The vapor will instantly trigger smoke detectors. People are constantly arrested for attempting to vape in aircraft lavatories and face federal charges for endangering flight safety. But the biggest issue is that many countries have completely banned them. In Thailand, all vaping devices and liquids are illegal. Tourists face fines of up to 30,000 baht and can receive up to 10 years in prison. Simply possessing a vaping device is a crime. In Singapore, a first offense carries a $520 fine, and a repeat incident can land you on a blacklist and prohibit entry into the country. In the UAE, fines reach $545 for vaping outside designated areas. Furthermore, rules regarding liquids and battery types differ by country. Your personal habit could lead to your arrest before you even leave the airport. 10. Spy gadgets. That spy pen looks cool online. Camera glasses seem perfect for capturing candid travel moments. Those tiny lapel microphones feel straight out of a James Bond movie. But while these gadgets might seem fun, at the airport, you could be flagged as a potential spy. Authorities worldwide are seriously concerned about privacy and security, and they view any hidden recording devices with extreme suspicion. They don't care what you plan to do with them. They evaluate them based on their implied purpose. A regular pen just writes. A spy pen writes and secretly records, implying your intent to invade someone's privacy or even engage in espionage. In the UAE, it's a crime to infringe on anyone's privacy, including filming without permission. A device specifically designed for covert recording is seen as a tool to commit that crime. In countries like Saudi Arabia and China, simply possessing spy equipment is a criminal act with severe consequences, including imprisonment. Airport scanners are now so advanced that they can easily detect this hidden electronics, even when powered off. Items marketed as fun gadgets, like trendy camera glasses, have led to arrests because authorities automatically assume the worst. Even a baby monitor with recording capabilities could trigger an alert. Your cool tech toy could instantly turn you into a suspected spy. 11. Medications. You have a headache, so you've transferred a couple of ibuprofen tablets from a large bottle into a plastic baggie for your carry-on. Maybe you've added some melatonin for jet lag and a few vitamins into a pill organizer. This is one of the most common and innocent things travelers do, and it can trigger a narcotics trafficking investigation. To a border agent, an unlabeled pill is just an unlabeled pill. They see a baggie of unidentified white tablets or colored capsules and have no idea if they're vitamins or dangerous narcotics. Without proper labeling, they are trained to assume the worst. In 2025, countries across Asia and the Middle East have launched extensive crackdowns on this. Travelers are detained for hours, missing flights, over something as simple as a painkiller because they cannot prove what the pills are. And here's the key. At an international border, you are guilty until proven innocent. And it's up to you to prove those little white pills are legal. Vitamins and melatonin are major triggers if found in generic containers. Security services may try to use databases to identify pills, but an unknown pill is an instant failure. This is why keeping medications in their original sealed, professionally labeled packaging is now a non-negotiable for international travel. The original packaging proves it's a legal medication. A generic pill organizer simply creates the impression you're trying to conceal something. And don't assume over-the-counter means legal everywhere. For instance, the antihistamine Benadryl requires a doctor's note in some countries. Decongestants like pseudoephedrine are banned in Japan and Mexico. Your simple headache remedy can turn into a drug smuggling case in an instant. 12. CBD products. CBD laws are a complete mess for travelers. A product that is fully legal, widely available, and part of your daily wellness routine at home can land you in prison in a country with a zero-tolerance policy. Let's be clear. Your legal CBD oil is considered dangerous to carry the second you cross certain borders. Many countries in Asia and the Middle East classify CBD as a narcotic, alongside heroin, regardless of its THC content. They view any cannabis-derived products as a public health threat. Here's what's leading to so many traveler arrests. Microscopic traces of THC. Even a product labeled THC-free can contain negligible amounts that exceed a zero-tolerance country's allowable limit. These trace amounts are enough to charge you with possession of a restricted substance. There was a recent case where a tourist in Singapore was fined $6,000 for having CBD hand lotion. In Singapore, CBD is a Class A controlled substance, and the penalty can be up to 10 years in prison, massive fines, and even corporal punishment. That wellness product became evidence in a criminal case. Airport technology is also evolving. Chemical swabs and advanced scanners can now automatically detect cannabinoids, and the "I didn't know" excuse will not work. Ignorance of the law is not a valid legal defense. In places like the UAE, Singapore, and Japan, if any cannabis-related product is found on you, you will face charges. Your wellness habit could lead to an international drug trafficking charge. 13. Self-defense items. That cute cat keychain you bought for self-defense. In the eyes of the law, its sharp metal ears and finger holes make it an item capable of inflicting a strong blow. Airport security sees it as a stabbing or striking device, no matter how cute it looks. This applies to many everyday items. Tactical pens made of hardened metal designed for striking will be flagged as a dangerous item. Security services evaluate the potential function of an item, not its appearance. If it can be used to puncture, cut, or amplify a strike, it is considered dangerous. There was a shocking case where a woman was arrested for attempting to carry that very cat keychain through an airport. The cute design made no difference. Officials saw an item that could be used for an assault. Even things you wouldn't think of can cause problems. A pair of sturdy metal chopsticks could be seen as a potential stabbing implement. Some heavy-duty belts with reinforced metal buckles could be flagged as a striking device. And the laws defining what constitutes a dangerous item vary wildly from country to country, and even state to state. Your legal concealed carry permit from home becomes utterly meaningless the moment you land somewhere with stricter laws. And again, I didn't know the law is not an excuse they'll accept. Your personal safety item could be the very thing that lands you in a holding cell. Conclusion. So what's the main takeaway from all of this? Airport authorities' approach to passenger security has fundamentally shifted. When they see a suspicious or unexplained item, they are now trained to assume the worst. The presumption of innocence that travelers once enjoyed is no longer there. Technology is changing, and the rules are changing even faster. What was harmless last year could be a criminal offense today. So, here's the simplest advice we can give you. When in doubt, leave it out. Do a quick check of your destination country's laws before you pack. Try to keep anything you can in its original packaging. And if you have something that might raise questions, declare it at customs. Your vacation should be a time for relaxation and making memories. It's not worth the risk of massive fines, a criminal record, or a travel ban that could follow you for the rest of your life. Travel safely, travel smartly, and we'll see you in the next video.